Casting the Vici Gaming versus VGJ.Storm series. I'm here with Lyrical, BSJ, and I myself am Chef Josh. We are here in draft. Bands are already started up. Let's talk Dota 2.
I'm ready. It's happening. Vici got owned last game. It was rough, and seeing the draft, I did feel like there was definitely a chance for them at various points, but Brian, you were saying that like a lot of it came down to you thought some of the decisions made in game.
I just think that in a game like that, both teams have cores that are going to accelerate their farm. So what's going to happen is after the laning stage, whichever team has the map control is just going to accelerate extremely fast. And it's going to get out of hand either way. And we saw that kind of when you look at the heroes like between the Jug and Ember. If Medusa doesn't have space to farm, they're going to outpace her, and Medusa's going to be the only farmed hero on her team, which makes her team much less scary because they can like kill the Enigma and then the Medusa. But with all the heroes farmed, there's no hero to focus. And there's this crazy concept in Dota that when one team messes up and the other team doesn't,
Wow.
the team that didn't mess up tends to win. And in that case, we saw a wasted Omni Slash at like 7-8 minutes into the game from Paparazzi where he died under tower to the first black hole. We saw Ori dive mid and die to the Medusa at like level 4 or 5. And then we didn't see a Doom used for like 7 minutes. And that's just like all that combined, suddenly Rezo's like 4K net worth ahead of everybody else at like 20 minutes into the game.
He just became untouchable. Gyro was able to recover. He was not having a good time in the laning stage early on. But when you give him the opportunity, you have this Medusa farming in your face, taking farm from the enemy cores, allowing his team to push these lanes, get map control. There's just, you're just going to gain the lead and take the lead. And while it took a really long time to finish out that game, that was almost a sure win in the side of VGJ.Storm starting, 25 minutes in.
So as far as the bans go, everything is the same so far. Last game, it was a Vici ban of the Coddle into the Vici Gaming Storm, or rather Vici Gaming taking the Bane first. And then after that, it was Night Stalker Gyro. So we'll see if things get switched up at all this time around.
There's a respect ban for the
Dusa is going to be banned out first phase.
That's
They
saying,
just
hey,
don't
Rezo.
want to worry about it.
I don't think that's the right answer, though, right?
I don't think so. I think you can beat Dusa. I think it was play more than that hero that lost him that game.
I absolutely believe that as well, but at the same time, I think VGJ.Storm plays Medusa better than any other team so far right now, and it also fits Resolution's playstyle incredibly. And it's not like they're fearful of them picking it first round. They just don't want to have to, like, once they see the picks coming out from VGJ.Storm, they don't want to then have to ban Medusa and have to worry about something else that they may not be able to ban. So
That's true.
it's like if you're scared of something and you're like, we just lost to it, I think it's a good approach in a best of 3, where in a major especially, where it's like, we just lost to this, let's not lose to the same thing again.
So the other
Bane.
thing to mention is
Disruptor.
Disruptor.
I like that.
like we were talking about with the Coddle before that they had banned out. Instead of banning it out now, it's instead going to be taking the Night Stalker to deny it. And Vici with the Tide Hunter Disruptor again. I don't really like the flex pick Tide thing.
No.
It feels weird to me, right?
I feel lackluster. I mean, this is the first game that I fully, watched entirely with the Tide not leveling Kraken Shell and just going his QE build and running around gushing people. So obviously it didn't seem to do all too much last game, but I could just be biased based on the result.
They won it the first game. They did it. So it is 1-1 so far this tournament. I'm not saying I love it, but I also think that game heavily fell on Ori and Paparazzi. That just those crucial early mistakes. Like, if you have a hero like Tide, he needs the enemy team to be forced to fight, and because of those early mistakes, they have no way of forcing the pace of the game. And so this Tide Hunter and Doom have Ravage and Doom not being used, and that's like that makes those heroes look a lot worse than, like, I'm not arguing whether or not it's good. I'm just saying that it's not a fair representation of its potential because of what else happened in that game.
You know what is a fair representation of its potential? Night Stalker Gyrocopter, which VGJ.Storm got last game as well. I can't believe that they gave him the exact same opening again, and they've only changed out basically the Bane for the Disruptor. So that does mean that, you're not going to get the Disruptor for VGJ.Storm, but there are a lot of different heroes that could fill that role, and Doom is still in the pool. We talked about it. Enigma's still in the pool. They're going to ban out the Enigma. I wonder if they ban out the Doom second.
I think that Disruptor definitely fills a gap that no other support can fill when you have a Night Stalker, just because the vision from Night Stalker gives you the ability to glimpse pretty much whoever you want, and it makes it so that all you have to draft is like team fight on the other 3 heroes, and your entire lineup is rounded off. We saw that earlier on with, it was LGD versus Newbie, where they had the OD Omni plus, what was the third core?
I don't remember.
It was just like 3 cores. Oh, Death Prophet. And then they had Disruptor Night Stalker. And it's like their 3 cores had no play potential, but then you just have Disruptor Night Stalker, and the other team can't farm. They can't split up and farm because those 2 heroes alone offer all the catch in the world, and you just need to BKB TP. Yeah, that's like the only way you can get past those 2 heroes, and you don't want to do that on pretty much any hero in the game. And I immediately like the bans coming out from VGJ.Storm. Just 2 elusive carries that they don't want to be dealing with in tandem with the fact that Vici Gaming has so much team fight. Like, Vici Gaming doesn't need any more team fight. They need some way to now force these team fights, as we saw last game, and just make sure they don't die to Ancients.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at those guys. They love their teams out there.
I want one of those signs.
I do
The Young
too.
11, yeah, these neon signs. I wish we had those in America. We probably do
feel like
somewhere.
I cannot properly fangirl without that sign.
That's true. I mean, you get some tassels, some thunder sticks, you'll be good. You know, fangirling, BSJ style.
I'm the
You're
best at it.
You're in.
Quite an achievement to be able to. I don't even know where I'm going with this.
I don't either. I'm not
I
really
was
sure.
curious.
It's really getting early.
So this disruptor, this on the side of Vici Gaming, we have their ban into their pick. They banned the Dusa. They banned the Enigma. Both of these seem like respect bans. I don't really know what to expect. I feel like they're not really banning for their picks. They're just.
Well, I think some of it is the like we were talking about before, the like answers for the Tidehunter a little bit. Like that's what the Enigma brings you at the very least. And now I would imagine they're thinking about another one of those in the Doom if they want to run it themselves. Is another possibility because they do have first pick of the second phase. So that's something that they could also go for here. I kind of like the idea of either banning it or taking it themselves. But they're going to ban out the Bane.
Surprised they banned the Bane.
Make me look good, please.
Interesting. I mean, Deuce is gone, and they have the gyro. Or sorry. Yeah, the opponents have the gyro. Banning the Bane is interesting. I wonder what
I
they're
still
trying
like
to
the
pick.
Doom. I don't think the Doom. Like I don't think there was anything wrong with the Doom pick last game. I just think I don't think it was a source of issues for them.
They're going to use up all their reserve time anyways, probably, just to talk about their other picks, because they ran down real low on it.
This is quite a crucial pick. Pretty much determines where they want to go with the draft.
Maybe a DK?
Anything that does well against Gyro in lane puts a lot of pressure.
I'm unsure. I would say, they've been going with the DP or, these IO pairs, but of course both of those are not an option anymore, so they got to put somebody in versus Gyro like you were saying.
This must be a famous guy on screen right now. But
There's a Naga. Oh, that's interesting.
So they commit to. I guess they could still do core Naga, but
That's
I
tied
think
off.
that's more of a core tide.
Yeah, it's very likely.
I mean, they knew what they were getting themselves into, if depending upon what it is that VGJ.Storm want to run now. I think that VGJ, they don't need to take the Doom right now if they want to, because it's unlikely that VG are going to take it on top of all that other stuff. So if they want it, they can take it. If not, they can get in the fourth pick probably, run something else here.
They need a hero that can stand its ground, like something similar to the Medusa in that regard. Just like even if it gets gone on by a Naga sleep, it's just not going to care. And I'm not saying it's necessarily this pick. It's either going to be this pick or fourth pick.
Vici.
There is still a Doom in this game, but I doubt they're going to want a Night Stalker Doom. I feel like that just does not sound like something viable.
The Naga disengage from the Doom as well can be quite scary. Both abilities have similar cooldowns. At this stage,
You could pick something. I mean, this is for the support duo. You could pick something like a Warlock or something to try to counter initiate on this.
I
guy.
like that actually. I was gonna
Yeah.
say like a combo. The Warlock's already banned, but some type of combo breaker's good too.
There's a Jakiro. I mean, that's
kind of
that's all right.
similar.
To an extent. I mean, again, usually you would see the Jakiro with the Naga trying to combo on the sleep. Now you've got this little awkward kind of interaction between the Ice Path and the sleep. I'm not really sure if you can be in range to deal with anything.
The other thing it gives
There's
you,
a
and
razor
you're
pick.
going to need it now, is like a strong laning hero that's able to stand up in there. So I think that they're going to need to double down on that soon, because this Razor, it messes with them. I think in a lot of ways, the Gyrocopter is not going to have an easy time of it, at least until he gets in that level 20 talent.
It's a very good Razor pick. It basically denies most of the hero that they would want to pick on the side for snaking, and maybe something like a Brew is their best option.
Like a Brew, you said? Sorry.
Yeah, just something like that. I really think they need something that goes in. They could make the Night Stalker a core and have him just build tanky, but
That
I don't
doesn't-
love
that
that.
doesn't sound very
Brew's one of the better laners against Razor, just because you can Drunken Haze him when he has all the static link damage. But Is there? I don't. You can't pick a Batrider. You can't pick.
I mean, I was thinking. I just like this DK. I've been bringing this up like every game, but I think that hero is really strong right now, and I think he'll be
One of
alright.
the highest win rates in the group stages.
Yeah.
I don't think you can pick it into Razor.
No, you don't think he can
I
hold
think
his
it's
own?
just like you have to address this Razor with the last 2 picks because you haven't addressed it yet. And if you don't address the Razor, you're gonna have Razor uncountered, and you're gonna have whatever Vici Gaming last picks uncountered. So I think that these 2 picks, like, they have to say, okay, we're not gonna give Razor an absolutely free game. And so far, Brew's the only hero I see, but maybe I'm about to learn something. Something like a Pugner or a Puck, something
20
like that.
seconds left. Oh, that would be fun to watch. I haven't seen either of those heroes in this tournament.
Yeah, any range, you can't pick a melee hero other than Brew. All the other ones just get absolutely demolished unless they plan to aggro.
There's a Luna.
Oh, okay. So that's a gyro mid,
Okay.
and then
I think that's very risky.
that's quite a.
I mean, you're going to get
Greedy
counterpicked
pick.
anyway. You're going to get counterpicked anyways in the mid lane, I guess. So might as well just show it now
Yeah.
and get the carry that you want.
Yeah. I mean, they would have to exactly. They have the second to last pick here, so they're not really revealing much. They're just securing their pick.
I guess though the thing is that like some heroes you can put in the mid lane and then they won't get countered super hard. I think that there are heroes that really get messed up or can really mess up Gyro.
I mean, this is it. Gyro 5.
They ban the back.
Last pick.
I'm
your mid
surprised they
hero,
banned the
guys.
Yeah.
Batrider. They have Disruptor Tide, one hero that counters it, and one hero that doesn't care about getting lassoed. Even though they have the Razor, and Batrider being the hardest counter in lane to Razor, I'm very surprised that they go for that option.
Yeah, maybe it is just for the lane that they value him getting a good game so highly.
Yeah, I still like Brew. That's the only hero I see for VGJ. They have all this team fight, but they don't have frontline. They don't have some hero that can actually, like, I feel like if Tidehunter just walks at you at the start of the fight, there's really no counterplay for VGJ. He can just buy like a pipe or even just a hood and
Yeah.
walk at you.
Like I want something like an Underlord, but I think that also is one that really can struggle against the Razor in the laning stage. Maybe if you run it up there with Jakiro or something like that, you can like slow him enough on the Razor that you can get away from the link.
Underlord could be okay.
Oh,
It's a
that's
clock
great.
pick.
That is a hero that goes in.
That's great.
He deals with this Disruptor and this Naga. That's nice.
I hope that's a core Night Stalker, though. I don't think you make this a core clock.
Look at that flag. That is awesome.
Which one? Oh, wow. Home
Keep
Where do
town.
these
believing.
people get this stuff?
I don't know.
They got 'em-
They're
I don't
crazy.
know.
Link me that
Like
website,
make it or
please.
something. Yeah. How do I just order a flag? Can I get a flag with like Jack's face on it? No bias.
No bias here.
bias.
We are completely equal casting.
Look, guys, this was. Oh, that's a Storm pick.
That's hype.
I like that a lot. They don't really have all too much damage on the side of Vici Gaming, so to have that big snowball core come out, the Ori Storm, that'll solve their problems if he can get a good start to this game.
It's one of his
He said
most
it's
played
a-
heroes. I think that it's a little bit scary against the Night Stalker coming in with some levels around that 4-minute mark. Or actually, since it's going to be core Night Stalker, he might not make rotations as much. But I think that they need to shut him down because this is a lane that can snowball. I think to a large extent.
They needed some mobile hero. All they had was team fight inside of Vici, so
Yeah,
giving
exactly.
you this like independent hero that can also show up to fights, I think is exactly what rounds up their lineup. And what better way to beat VGJ.Storm than with a Storm?
Hey.
Hey
The
yo.
question is, Gyro versus Storm Spirit.
I think it's okay mid early on at least.
I mean, Storm only really shits on melee heroes, so
I think it should be absolutely fine just because I don't think any hero is going to stop the other. Gyro has very low base damage, so Storm should have no problem getting CS. I think they might camp one of the 2 supports there on the side of VGJ just to try to slow down the Storm. I don't think they have to necessarily be with the... Is it? They can just cog block the off lane. Who's on what hero?
It's MSS Clockwork.
Yeah, so it is a Core Night Stalker. I think they're just going to cog block for him and maybe start the Clockwork bottom, but I would like to see them give Gyro a little bit of a bolster
Okay.
in the top in the mid lane.
bolster. I like that.
Yeah, I had to think about that for a second because I'm running out of words
Nice.
after 6 days of
Nice,
casting.
nice.
That is a problem. You start
That's
repeating
true.
yourself over and over again. I get that all the time.
I was asking Rob for a couple keywords. I'll try to drop some in. So if you hear me say some big words out of place for absolutely no reason, just blame Rob.
Just know that he has nothing else to do with his efforts.
Okay. Well, moving out, game number 2 now. VGJ.Storm facing off against Vici, and this one is winner go to the lower bracket for Vici at the very least. As VGJ.Storm trying to hold on to their top rune here. 11, and Lanham going to run forward and just force him back. So it is going to be that core Naga Siren. We've seen this be pretty effective, I would say. The Meteor Hammer is still alive and well.
I'm a believer in this support tide. We're going to see it come back where we're not going to see any random tower dives, and this tide's going to be allowed to ravage when he gets level 6. And that's going to be where we see Lanham have the massive impact with that level 11 first level in the Kraken Shell build.
Are they only going to get... Vici are going to get 3 runes here.
Okay, that's a 400 gold lead right off the bat, you know. And that cannot be ignored. That's basically 2 creep waves. That's how I like to look at it.
I mean, it's not to the point where like somebody is going to be getting... I guess Ori can bring out a salve right at the start if he wants. Interesting that he has the bottle queued up again. I've been seeing more of that recently. I thought that it was going to be less often because of the bounty runes, but...
Gyro's not exactly a hero that harasses you all that much early levels. Maybe that's his thinking.
Okay.
Immediate rocket to the face. Still getting all the CS. So that's
Doink.
Oh, did he not get the deny?
No, he got the deny.
Oh, okay. I just didn't see the little exclamation point.
Seeing stuff again.
No, I didn't see stuff. That was the issue.
Oh, that's
the opposite.
Is it
Staring right at it.
Is it like lying by not telling the truth?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know, if it's a white lie, it's not quite a real lie. You know, it's just a small lie.
Okay.
You know?
Fair enough.
Now we're branding our lies.
That's not. I mean, that's a figure of speech.
Oh,
it just means a minor lie.
Bottom lane, he is dragging the creeps on the clockwork.
Fenrir with the 17 gold from McCog. He's rich.
Yeah, I like this play against the Razor. Razor has really no counterplay to these random creep drags, and you just don't want to have to lane against the Razor straight up, as you're seeing Snaking get heavily bullied.
I mean, he will be able to get this one, it looks like, and, you know, regen through all of the mangoes and tangos that he's got. So we'll see how that works in a couple of minutes. As top lane, 11 taking a lot of harassment as well.
He's just getting spammed out by SVG right now. Just catching a Q, getting hit with a liquid fire, and he just is really sad.
Another round of this, and he actually might go down, to be honest. He's got a lot of damage coming in there, but with the 3 tangos...
Oh, did he just...
3 mangoes, rather.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a quelling blade.
Yeah, I was confused. I thought he was eating his way through those trees. I was like, that's inefficient, sir. But it's 11. He knows what he's doing.
So yeah, just watching those early on. We'll see if MSS tries to go for another pull through.
It's like a haste rune spawns top. Somebody's going to take that. I believe it will most likely be this gyro, as the creep wave is now under tower for Ori.
Probably would have loved a DD or something else like that, but that one is fine as well. As one of the big equalizers here might be SVG being able to get these pulls off. They got the D ward on the camp as well. So Resolution going to farm up the creeps that were coming towards them as well as the hard camp, while SVG is getting the pull through over here to the side. This should mean that the creep wave will push again to half creep wave coming in, but not the end of the world.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bottom lane, Paparazzi again stealing a lot of damage from MSS. See if they turn now onto Snaking. No glimpse in the area.
Just a bit of harass for him.
Yeah.
Makes him last hitting a little bit easier.
As we talked about, I think a lot of the focus for Vici is going to be on Ori this game. I feel like he isn't going to be all that active early, but if he can speed up his mid game, he's actually getting gone. He might just die here.
A lot of damage.
Tons of damage, and this is the strength of Gyrocopter, as First Blood actually is going to be drawn on Lana. So VGJ.Storm on a couple of these different lanes, and you can see the strength that they've got here. 11 going to try and back away yet again. Dual Breath already used and taken off, but
he's dead.
He's a dual breath in one.
Take it down.
Done.
So they've got multiple kill lanes here. As Lanham responds, he's going to run back forward towards Yawar with the slow that they're going to have from another right click. Can they get within range for it? Not quite there.
There's a salve on MSS.
What a guy.
What a bro.
What
that's just hooking up your team right there.
Yeah. That's crucial. Otherwise, Gyro would be forced to go back to base there and be missing crucial CS.
All of a sudden, Storm might catch back up into the lane, and so well, I say catch back up. Storm is leading the lane heavily, but
I mean, the kill hurts a little bit.
it does.
But the fact that he didn't miss any CS off of that one pretty much also is quite nice for him. So MSS going to go for another creep pull here. And with the 4-minute mark coming around, or he's just going to try.
There's a
and make
DD on
happen.
MSS. He might just dive with this creep wave,
The
but I
DDs
think
were
it's
off.
too risky.
So we'll watch again as we're getting close to the 5-minute mark. Bounty runes going to be coming up shortly, and Snake King, certainly one of the kings of that one. Night Stalker.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. I'm glad you appreciated it.
I don't know if he said that or not. I'm just,
I don't know about the appreciation factor.
just pointing it out.
Yeah, it's time for a Kyle analogy. I gotta come up with something.
All right,
And
SVG. Here's the battle. This is objective time. Can they get it? Who's quicker fingers? Well, looks like Lanham got that one.
MSS is getting
He might
both.
just be dead
They're
for
just
that
trying to
round.
kill him. All right. Apparently, you
Lanham.
can just come in and find a kill. 11
But
turns on
Rezo is
Rezo.
going down.
Let's turn
SVG is going to be in a
Sick
little
TP
bit of
from
trouble.
Fender.
No, he used the net on Rezo before he got out there.
They make it work.
Storm Spirit forced out of lane. He's going back to base now. Going to heal up and return mid again. Yawar's just farming away. He's got his 6 now.
Despite the fact that he's ahead by 8 CS on the Storm, he's still a level behind because of the denies.
Exactly. And because of the kill on him earlier. Or sorry, not on him.
Oh, look at down bottom, though. Paparazzi spotted out as well. They're going to be able to catch him in the cogs. And with the battery assault and everything else, another round of the Lucent Beam, and the right clicks. Paparazzi going to drop. Lanham, also, if he steps too far away from his tower, might go down as well. And realizing this, he stays close.
That's such a sick play by Resolution. He just rotated to the opponent off lane at level 4 as a Luna. Something you pretty much never see. And he didn't want to return top. That's not a lane he exactly wants to be in. He gets the kill. Not only does he just come to this lane, but he also sets up the kill on Razor, forcing Razor to go top himself.
Storm is hasted, running top. He's pinging out SVG under tower right now.
Night Stalker
He may
diving
just
mid,
dive.
and he's going to let that go. He might actually get caught, but the only level 1 glimpse, so should be no issue for Snake King to simply run away. And that's the benefit of having that Night Stalker off lane. You can just take his lane over on the Luna, and he's going to go do something else.
See, this is really bad, I think, in some ways for Ori. Like, he made this big old rotation here up with his 6, and he's not finding anything.
He may now. He may just dive right away. He's pinging. He wants to use this. He didn't want to waste this rotation.
Can he? They do have a TP on MSS, rather on Snake King. Ready to go, but meanwhile, bottom lane, they found themselves Paparazzi yet again, and he's going to drop to Resolution. And SVG fine. Like, Ori's kind of farmed out a creep wave, but I don't know.
This Razor's game is over almost. He's level 4, 7 minutes into the game, just died twice. This Resolution rotation is actually incredibly good. Like, he knows that this Razor has nowhere else to go.
You learning something over there?
I am actually learning something. That's like, it's something where it's not a good rotation for Luna. Like, he isn't excited to go to this off lane, but he knows that his game is ruined much less than this Razor's. And it's like, well, my game's going to be impacted slightly, but this Razor's game is going to be absolutely destroyed. And you're seeing it here. Like, suddenly your Razor, who's supposed to be the snowballing hero, is level 4.
Yeah.
Like creating space for the Storm while the Storm farms up in the mid game.
Meanwhile, we have Rezo just pulling the creep wave, making
Top
it even
lane
more miserable.
SVG
they
might
gotta
be
watch
in
this,
trouble.
though. Look at this Rezo. He realizes it. The smoke is going to break on Luna TPing away.
And he just
Ooh.
TP's top. Another kill. Convenient.
Oh, my God.
That's
That's a dead 11. This
Okay,
Naga,
Resolution is apparently a good player. Something I didn't realize.
This
I
Naga,
thought he was the problem.
Naga is sitting at the same net worth as a Night Stalker and almost a Jakiro right now. He is extremely sad in this game, and he was supposed to be a core.
Yeah, definitely. It is a problem. As bottom lane, they do find MSS. So Fenrir able to pick up that one. Maybe you could argue could have gone over to Paparazzi to help him out a little bit more, but still he's trying to get towards a phase boots himself. 8.5 minutes in, 2-6. It is about 1,000 gold lead into the favor of VGJ.Storm, who have just started to look like the better team throughout this series against Vici. Like, they're top of the DPC points. Or not top of it, but in the top 8 at least.
They're up there. We do have this Storm. He is hanging on. He's getting his farm. He's making plays. He will have the ability to pick off people. There's a song coming out top lane.
They've got the level 4 anchor smash, or level 2 anchor smash coming in. Nope, they choose not to go with the fall.
They
That's a
just
level
choose
6
to disengage.
Jakiro at 9 minutes into the game. These rotations from Resolution have completely changed the pace of this game. That's only a level 5 off lane Night Stalker, but I don't think they really care.
Oh my God, is MSS just gonna walk at Paparazzi right now? He's like, he's showing himself into the area, but with phase boots, Paparazzi might not be as scared anymore as he walks around. Takes out the ward.
Oh,
Resolution is going to accelerate so much this game. It is going to be all in the hands of Ori to basically get this Kaya. Maybe his next item could even just go for a BKB. I think that might have to be his build after the way this Razor's game's going.
Well, meanwhile, mid lane, you are out of mana. Needs to be careful as the Storm jumps him there, and well, it looks like
well played.
I don't know what he was doing there exactly.
UR does not have to make plays this game. They are out farming them on the side of VGJ. That is just a little. I think he's really feeling himself there. That's like, you know, we like the enthusiasm. We want to play to win, but you got to be very careful overextending on heroes like Gyro that just die if they get caught out of position.
10-minute mark. Bounty runs go the way mostly of VGJ. 3-1.
And there's a Storm with the regen rune. That's pretty scary. He's going to pop that immediately. I don't know if he's going to do anything with it. He may just keep farming.
Yeah, I like that idea, the farming.
Yeah, he's just going to clear this jungle, use this regen for the full duration. He may even go back mid with this Luna. That's a big kill if they can get the setup.
SVG is just taking his bottom tower. Max Liquid Fire, level 7 at 10 minutes. That's pretty huge. At a level 5 Jakiro's this high level.
Yeah, and I think that Liquid Fire is something you don't see as often, but realizing that they're in a
Ice
good
path to
position.
prevent the
They
deny.
got him caught, and now they're maybe going to kill off Paparazzi yet again.
We do have Ori and Fenrir coming in at the tail, but
I don't think they can do
they're
anything.
gonna
Oh,
be
they
able
do
to
have Disruptor 6, but I don't think they can do anything to SVG
They
here.
may be able to pick off this.
Trying to. He still has stick charges as well. The Static Storm
There
is
it
down
is.
the ice path to try and turn this. He's trying to walk out of there, but is going to fall. Now,
Oh, he's
can
falling to
MSS
Glock.
get the
Oh,
kill?
what a glimpse.
They're still able to glimpse to get him away. The hook shot back in. Ori is walking out of there, but if MSS Battery Assault catches him out with the Caunts as well, the ice path able to get away. Ori playing himself out
And
of
he
there.
gets
They
the kill
made
on
it in.
MSS.
Resolution comes back in for the finish onto Fenrir, but that was close to more.
Ori has had enough. He said, I'm taking over this game.
Is under attack.
Fenrir really out here playing his best game. That man just saved the life of this Storm twice in a row. Secured a kill on this Gyro. That was well played. Very well played. The Storm's very, very happy with what
Yeah,
just
Gyro
went
and the Jakiro were just a bit separated when they went on him, so the Ice Path came a little bit too
Yep.
late in order to save him. And I still think that's good for the side of VGJ.Storm. Like, they're the ones taking map control with these type of plays, and despite the fact that they got 2 kills on Vici, they're down by 2K, 12 minutes in, and Luna's just going to keep getting more and more farmed this game.
That's a big zip.
Well, he walks out of
SVG.
there, but not going to happen.
Okay, so the problem with having this over-level Jakiro is that he's just a lot of free gold every time they kill him in these lanes.
There's a Kaya up on Storm. He's got another jump coming through if he wants it. MSS is camping right behind here. He knows Storm is probably lurking,
His
looking
hook
at
shot
this
back
Night
up.
Stalker.
Luna's farming a triple ancient stack at 12
I mean,
minutes
this is
into the game.
that's really the thing that's so scary, right? Is that while all of these action has been going down bottom, Resolution's just been farming through the jungle, and in spite of that, Ori is still keeping up, relatively
Yeah,
speaking.
this isn't quite the same as an IO Luna as we saw the other day with who was that?
It was Paparazzi.
Was it Paparazzi? Yeah, I mean, you don't have that steroid that's going to make you get out of control, but he still will accelerate way faster than any other hero in this game.
Wow. Which is why it's so impressive that Ori's been able to keep up with him to some extent, only 1,000 gold behind roughly.
Radiant's top tower is
And
under
it's by
attack.
virtue of being active, getting those kills around the map.
But these kills, they can't continue. Like, meaning it's not reliable to have that consistent kill. And they're just going to put a lot of pressure on mid lane. Luna's farming all the meanwhile. Night Stalker providing the vision, pressuring the mid lane with that liquid fire. And they're just going to back off. And look at all of Vici Gaming is just in the mid lane.
Yeah, Tide has 6. They wanted to bait that out, but good recognition by
Resolution
VGJ.Storm.
has like another quad stack bottom after he clears this creep wave. He's going to clear like 2 creep waves and then back off. And he is so farmed. He's going for the Dragonlance into BKB build. I think that's absolutely correct.
Snaking, stealing away the experience, and
He's feeling very beefy, able to play very aggressive. He's got this vitality booster in his inventory, almost to the super spirit vessel.
oh, there's a smoke, drops the ward. Ori is going to thank MSS for that free kill. And Lanham actually is the one that takes it away and then gets pinged by the Storm. I like that. Oh, that was for the ward. Okay, that was for the ward.
That makes for less of a fun
the
story.
ward, of course.
Are you a pinger? Are you 2 pingers?
I mean, not if somebody steals a kill. I don't care. We get a kill, we get a kill. But
you know,
say
Lyrical, I prefer to not have labels.
Rezo just denied the Rezo.
Yeah.
You prefer to not have labels?
Yeah, he
man,
doesn't like to identify as
Yeah,
anything.
I don't think putting a label limiting my
Freedom.
being. Yeah, freedom. There you
Yeah.
go. I
Your
don't
spirit
exactly.
to embody what you please, you know?
Good silence there to make sure that the Night Stalker is not glimpsed.
Back to the game.
Yeah, I'm just moving on.
Diego's like, I'm done with this crap.
That's the best play. That's the best
Whatever
move
it
in this
takes to
situation.
stop these two.
Now we do have 4 heroes on the side of VGJ.Storm grouped up in this top lane. Looks like they're going to go their separate ways now. They realize that Vici Gaming is sitting up here as well.
It's almost
not
boundary
worth
time.
the time. They're just going to farm away on this gyro and rotate back towards their Luna.
VGJ is going to hit a ridiculous timing, though. Gyro and Luna are going to hit BKBs pretty similar, and it'll just be so easy for them to take fights.
Looks like we're going to trade off bounty runes this time around. And as we said, more and more farm on the Luna.
SVG top lane going down again.
Uh-oh.
He is taking the most dangerous farm on the map, so if anybody on the side of VGJ.Storm is going to die, it will be him. But at the same time, that's opening up the tower push for Vici Gaming, so it's really important that he tries to minimize these deaths as much as possible.
And Storm is going for this first item Orchid. He's just trying to make sure he can keep steady making these pickoffs, killing the
This
Sniper.
BKB timing compared to Orchid timing is going to be crucial this game. Like,
That's
whoever
very
hits
true.
that first, it's pretty much going to decide the game, I think, because if he goes for this Orchid and they just have 2 BKBs, suddenly that Orchid is pretty much wasted.
Well, we are going to see Vici moving towards mid lane. Ywar in their sights, but as they walk forward,
the
Ywar's going to
glimpse,
back
the
out.
ward.
The glimpse is going to be there. I'm not sure if it's good enough, though. He drops the
MSS
call down.
is in range of Hook. He's lurking up by the Ancients.
They got one, though. Naga Siren silenced, as well as the Eclipse. They take him down, and now a haste rune on
my.
Resolution. He's going to try and hit them from the low ground. MSS jumps in, finds both as well. Lanham going to drop, and now Ori also in their sights, just
They're
trying to get
chasing him.
away.
Oh, they're just going to take the tower.
Big kills.
VGJ.Storm's actually just outplaying them.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing
they
the
didn't
right
even-
amount of heroes, right amount of resources. Meanwhile, Jakiro's just pushing top.
They're doing very well. I mean, if Vici Gaming is forced in this position again where they kind of have to walk around this Storm, he's the only one that's able to actually threaten the enemy team. And, you know, they're going to stay grouped up and hope for the best, but when VGJ is able to, like you said, to just put Jakiro in one lane, have this clock sit behind Rezo, or sit behind Snaking even, they just have these kill squads. They're able to go around in these groups. And
The problem is the Storm is the one that's supposed to be farming as well as having to go for kills. And that's why the Razor start was so important, because without the Razor having this ability to run around and force objectives, suddenly we found ourselves in the same spot we did the first game where this Tidehunter just has Ravage,
Yeah.
and you can't use it. And they have had Song for a while as well, and they're finally just going to walk down top, but look at what SVG is doing. He's just like, okay, they have the Meteor Hammer,
All
but I mean, that's a tier 1 tower, first one of the game, going down at 17 minutes. And despite the fact that you don't have any naturally pushing heroes, the Razor, like, he is just going to be useless in this game.
Yeah. It is a tough one, and, you know, trying to see where they can, you know, find some solace. They're going to farm out the camps over to the side. As we said, it's really good farming patterns by VGJ.Storm, making sure that they're always getting something out of the map if they're losing an objective. And the BKB completed for Resolution feels like it might be about that time to start fighting. Another round of it.
I think this BKB is going to be like reactionary fighting. I don't even think they have to force anything. They're just going to be ready to basically say, if Vici tries to take an objective, we're not going to let it happen.
yeah.
So again, with the Meteor Hammer thing, is it back to where, like, you don't know for sure if you're going to get your BKB off or not?
You can get
So no,
BKB off.
BKB Magic Immunity is always
Yeah,
guaranteed.
you can
Okay.
100% activate your
BKB, Spin, Rage, that is
Okay.
always good. It's just blinking that you can't do.
And he does have the Aquila, so as you mentioned the other day.
So-
But the Yule's Scepter set up.
Ori caught. He somehow...
He is in some trouble.
What the
There's
hell
a
just
He
happened
just
there?
didn't get stunned by Ice Path, right? That's what happened there?
I think so, but they have been able to find and kill off 11.
And that's exactly what you're seeing with this BKB, saying you are not allowed to take our buildings. And that is exactly what VGJ.Storm should do with their BKBs. Gyro almost has his in 800 gold. And every time they get kills like this, force out these crucial ultimates, they can walk down lanes themselves.
How
This is
did
a
he
game
not-
where VGJ doesn't have to force anything.
So how did he not get stunned by Ice
I have
Path?
no
I
idea what
think-
just happened there.
I'm not sure. It looked to me like he was already mid cast on his jump, and he just
He
just
might
you
have
know,
just
was very
missed,
close.
but that was really weird.
They look. I mean, it looked directly on top of him
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
I think Ball Lightning just was already casting, and he was able to get out. It was
Flips on to
possible.
SVG, but that's just to support Jakiro, and this isn't going to lead to anything. Meanwhile, the rest of VGJ is just farming.
Yeah.
This is 5 heroes from the side of VG Gaming.
Or he's looking.
There
If
is
they
a
can find the
snaking
Night
up in the
Stalker.
trees. That would make it worth the
they're not gonna
effort, I
find him.
believe. But
But they may catch Resolution under this ward. He has no BKB for 10 seconds. This may be the rare opportunity they're looking for. But he's going to back off. Spidey since he's not even farming that big camp.
He knows what's up.
Yeah, he knows this is a dangerous part of the map. He knows how long it takes them to get from where they were just now killing the Jakiro to getting to him. And that is honestly a kill that nets an advantage for VGJ.Storm.
Which is not what you would expect.
Yeah, and that
It's,
I love the way SVG's playing, despite how many deaths he has. Like it's only 3, and this top lane is often what we consider the dead lane, where you just don't want to take any objectives here for VGJ.Storm, but it's the only place on the map that Vici can play, looking to take towers. And by him just continuously pushing the wave, even though he's dying, they don't get anything. Look at all of Vici Gaming's wards, and they can't get anything done here because SVG keeps pushing this lane out, and he's just a 5-position Jakiro.
say,
Oh, they're looking for
Storm
snaking now.
going on snaking. I believe he will die here.
Well, he's
He's
running.
super tanky,
Jakiro's
but he
helping
will
him
go
out.
There's the Meteor Hammer coming out on Naga.
Trying to get him.
Oh, he missed.
Just off the edge. SVG's going to go down here, and they do kill off Snaking in the end.
So
So
this is what they have to be careful of.
yeah,
Yeah,
they lose
exactly.
2.
That Meteor Hammer just whiffed. Luckily, Ori was able to get that pick off. They got the glimpse on him, so, secured the kill on snaking.
They gained 1K worth of net worth advantage from those 2 kills.
If
though.
they can get this tier 2 tower now, 11's going to have Meteor Hammer back up again. Paparazzi's there.
This tier 2 honestly doesn't change the game all that much. It just makes it so that they can move on to other objectives, which is important.
Okay.
But it's one of those things where they still have to take this mid-tier 1, and I don't know how they take that without giving up map control. Meaning Resolution's going to pressure bottom like he is. He's already taking a tier 2 of his
Oh
own,
my god.
and
The glaives.
I mean, they take down the Radiant Tower top lane now as well. Nagas aren't able to get that, but it's a tier 2 of their own.
it's just a trade. Both teams are okay with this, I think. But I like the way VGJ is just collapsing on the mid lane. Storm might be in a little bit of trouble.
Hook shot in, able to get him to silence. It's going to be there in time, and they found him. And with the downside of the Orchid build is you can't take off the silence yourself.
And that's the problem with Vici Gaming's plan here. SVG's stalled their momentum so much that all these wards that they have, look at their wards. They want to play aggressive, but look at where they're stuck playing. These wards don't do anything. And when you're against a Night Stalker, and the only 3 wards you have do nothing, that makes it impossible to play.
Turn around with the Ravage, though. Resolution, BKB, maybe a little bit late as well. They get down the ice path, able to catch and kill off 11. Paparazzi, BKB running away. They back out.
I love the Hurricane Pike from Rezo, knowing that the only problem he can have once he has BKB is the net and the Razor Static Link, both of which are countered by the Hurricane Pike active.
And now moving into Roshan. VGJ.Storm realizing it is time to take objectives, and can they get here in time? It doesn't matter, because guess what? Ravage was already used with the Blink reveal, and now they got Aegis to run down a second time.
And they might chase something off of this. They're going to catch the Disruptor.
Oh god, Vici
There it is.
losing heroes
That
left,
was
right,
a
and center.
Very valuable kill. Disruptor being the one able to set up these, the only positive fights, the only ones where Vici Gaming came out on top in the net worth charts were due to this Disruptor.
They could set up a sleep with a buyback on Disruptor. This is absolutely possible. He has a TP scroll. I think they have to. I think they have to do something.
We do have MSS sitting in the back lines here, waiting to throw a hook in the moment he gets vision of something killable.
They're playing so smart on VGJ. The Night Stalker supplying the vision so they know what VG Gaming is going to attempt to do. And they might even catch Ori again.
Yeah, they're pinging him out like exactly where he was going to be at. SVG just going to punch the tower one time, and
There's no backdoor protection on this, so he can just hit away.
Yuar
says,
last hit.
"Thank you, sir. Thanks for the gold. Appreciate your time. Glad it wasn't mine." Let's see. Oh. Snaking, catching vision of Paparazzi. The hook onto Naga. Naga's silenced. He will go down.
Oh, the ice path also able to catch Paparazzi on his way into the base, trying to get out of there. MSS not able to get him with Static Storm down. He can maybe just reload for another round of this.
They're
Yeah,
pressuring
Naga's
top,
down.
but that's just a storm.
Absolutely no threat of the Song into Disruptor ulti, both of which are unavailable.
No buyback on Naga Siren. Resolution starting to hit away at this tower. Storm Spirit,
Storm is top.
I mean, he's doing some damage, but I think that these guys push your tower a little bit faster, and they're starting to take it down. As soon as it's down, the racks will surely follow shortly afterwards. Resolution.
Now the Glaives bounce too with that tier 3 gone.
God, Paparazzi dealing damage now, able to force them back and away, although the right click's coming in with Yawar there as well. They're going to possibly burn him down through the BKB, instead just trying to take down and kill off this tower, but with the buyback on Lanham, looks like they are going to retreat.
And you see MSS killed Fenrir back there with a rocket.
11 appears
He
to be
ended up
looking
landing
for
that
a
on him
song to
before
catch
he
some
reached
stragglers, but I don't think that's going to work.
There's a
Storm?
Oh, there's a butterfly getting on Rezo right now.
He doesn't have any mana. Ori. Oh, they thought about going for it, but not going to make it happen.
SVG
And instead,
with the space, they may turn this.
yeah, they're thinking about it. SVG running away, the song to try and get them back in range, but he ends up getting stunned, so it's going to be the full duration. Now, can they kill off
Gyro,
any
no
more of
BKB.
these heroes? He is going to walk away, but the Ravage, jump forward, blink on a 3. Rezo going down. They are still having the Aegis, though, and he
he's
ends
still
up
alive.
force-stopping to the high ground as Snakeen also in some trouble. He drops. MSS looking to walk away from them, but they've killed off 2 so far. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only chances they can get when they don't have BKBs on the side of VGJ.Storm. Vici has to force those type of engagements, and I mean, that's a step in the right direction, but they're still down by 10,000 gold, and this Luna is on the brink of, honestly, they just can't deal with it.
Just finished this butterfly. Didn't even have it for that fight. It was stuck in his backpack. He was struggling to get it off the courier for a bit, but he at least he survived, so he didn't burn the Aegis. Now he's got this brand new set of items ready to go show him off.
Yeah, they still have 2 minutes left on the Aegis, so
Yeah.
they can definitely look to just walk down mid or even just take the top tier 2.
Double bounties.
Okay, you gotta be
secured.
careful on Rezo. He could get caught out here.
He does have BKB.
He might
does
just
have
kill them,
ulti.
actually.
He's just going to kill everybody. All right, well, he turns it
BKBs?
back around. Hurricane Pike, he can wait for it until after the Aegis wears off if he wants to.
Or just
And-
walk away.
Yeah, with the Glimmer Cape, he's fine.
Wow.
That is actually incredible. I did not. I thought he was either dead or getting a BKB off. I
mean,
thought that was one of those are the
There's
2
5
options.
heroes, right? Normally when one hero walks into 5, the one loses.
Yeah,
Rezo just plays raid boss heroes, apparently.
I get that because I never played WoW. So
I didn't either, but I like to consider myself a cultured individual.
I see.
An aficionado.
Aficionado.
Wow.
I've heard worse. I've heard worse.
Yeah,
Very eloquent in your speech. You know.
thank you. Well, it's gotta do
Almost
something.
BKB on
They're
the
just-
Storm.
Walking down this lane.
I mean,
Rezo was like, if 5 heroes can't kill me, what are they gonna do versus my team?
yep, they just say, I'm just going to
What
ignore
a
you.
nice hook. Long range from downtown.
MSS
That's
is
a
on
quick pick
point
off
this
on
game.
11.
This Glimmer Cape's sick as well. He's had like 3 life-saving Glimmer Capes.
MSS
All of
is
which were on
sick this
Rezo, if I'm
tournament.
Yeah.
not mistaken.
He's had a hell of a tournament, honestly.
Sure. No, MSS has been, I mean, he's been showing up consistently this tournament and past.
Rezo still has 20
Very
seconds left on Aegis. They got to be careful
They
about
want to
this
just run
timing
it.
right now.
They for sure have been marked down. There's no way they forget this kind of thing with the way they've been playing. That's just a
south.
free lane of Rax, no Naga.
They can just walk away. I guess they're deciding to back after this. They're not going
Yeah,
to
you're
force
waiting
anything
to
else.
see what they did to say what they're
They're
going
probably
to do,
just
right?
going to take these shrines. No, I mean, I was
Walk
going to say they were
away.
going to walk away. It was more so just I was sort of surprised by it. I thought they would have just kept pushing there. and
There's
used
no
the
reason to
Aegis,
force it.
but-
That's the only way they can lose the game,
yeah,
right?
that's true.
That's their idea. And I love the Lincolns on Rezo. I think that he just builds items that say, if you can't possibly deal with me while I hit your buildings, then you're going to lose the game.
He already does more than enough damage.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine.
And the Net and Static Link are 2 single target abilities that go through BKB, so once he has BKB on with the Lincolns, there is just simply no play for VG Gaming. They can try to anchor smash him and ignore him during fights, but that's just not the most reliable way to take down a Luna that's 7k net worth ahead of your Storm. They're smoked up,
This
though.
is an interesting one right now
Oh.
because you see another smoke coming from VGJ, and they're going to miss each other, but the creep wave is going to be pushing in close enough now. They'll have 1 creep with them. I don't think that's good enough.
They're going to
But this
play
is
safe, finish
counterplay.
off this shrine first.
This could be big. Lanham is still there with the Blink Dagger, and they are all showing for a moment. Jumps forward, Ravage immediately onto 3 of them. Static Storm down as well. Can they burst down the gyro in time? They will. The Eclipse coming out now.
Yes, buyback.
Paparazzi going forward for this one as they want to drain away whatever possible damage that they can.
is
Resolution
a
still isolated.
full
The rest of his
duration
team
link.
isn't there to help him out at all. Silence and going to possibly be picked off. Yes, they take him down.
They get the courier as well on top of that. That's Lincoln's and BKB.
Yawar is also falling a little bit to the side now. He just fought back, but no, they managed to kill off Ori, excuse me. He is
Taken.
dead, and now they're all going to die instead. That's going to be a dead Fenrir. Trying to run away. 11 already used Song. Can they catch him out? It doesn't quite look like it.
Only 760 gold somehow for killing this Luna. Don't really know how that math checks out.
sadly, that was Snaking's BKB on the Courier, as well as the recipe for Rezo's Lincolns. He does not have the perseverance with it, so it wasn't completed yet. But
So clearly
3 minutes.
they can deal with
3
this
minutes
Luna
until
if they manage to get the burst on the gyro and then go out on the Luna after he gets isolated. I love how they purposely song during the Luna BKB so that the rest of VGJ was taken out of the fight. Rezo at that point, when his BKB faded, was already outside of the radius of the song, and they just said, okay, I'm running at him with Link, and follow me up with Storm, and they actually did plenty of damage despite the fact that he has all these tankiness items.
well, it was Razor got the full duration
Yeah,
Link.
absolutely.
Rezo used his Hurricane Pike and could not get away, and he couldn't break it, so the Razor ended up with 220 damage and was just able to smack him.
Yeah, I think that if you're looking at this, like, just can't get ravaged like that, and the next fight is probably going to be a lot harder because VGJ.Storm are going to try and group together and just push down a lane with Rezo up front and center. But if it happens near the Roche pit, that might not be as easily either.
Roche is crucial next. If they get it on the side of VGJ.Storm, I don't think they can kill the Luna twice. But if they get it on the Storm, on the other hand, this game could just take a complete turn the other direction. A 360 and walk the other way.
Nice. You are.
That is an illusion rune on Rezo.
He is right now level 21, building towards a butterfly for the gyrocopter. So doubling up on that. Right now, no way to deal with evasion, really. I guess just sort of trying to burst through the HP with the spells that they've got, and maybe Paparazzi's ulti as well, that type of thing. And they showed that they could do it earlier. Oh, SVG.
Silence coming out of Storm. He has to pop BKB. He'll be fine.
Ori also, they
might
ended up
turn
hookshotting
this.
into that and trying to take him down.
He's going to let this go. No BKB, just get out.
Yeah, exactly. He knows that if that goes down and he stays for any duration longer, he's just going to get
And if
blown
they
up.
lose the fight, that's pretty much
Yeah,
GG. So
exactly.
they're on that brink of, on the side of Vici where they have to win like 3 or 4 fights in a row, and that is absolutely possible, but they can't afford to slip up a single time. And I like the Razor Shivas. It gives them the vision against the Night Stalker Ultimate, something we've seen across this tournament. And I don't know. Ori's going for the Sheepstick. I think they have other issues, but at the same time, they have to itemize to deal with this Luna.
Yeah, well, and the thing that's scary is she's going for Satanic next. So on top of having that Lincoln Sphere about to be delivered since the Courier response, they're also going to have that extra item on top of it. So BKB, like you were saying, going to be completed for Snaking, as well as the Lincolns on Luna.
That's a pretty huge power spike.
Yeah, SVG's actually got
Luna
Eon
can
Disc.
just go hit towers even
Isn't
more.
he? Or
than she
no,
was
he's
before.
almost finished with it.
Roche, 30 seconds away.
And VGJ is just being patient. They know that they can win this fight no matter what. They're going to get this roast for free as long as they're patient enough to wait for it.
They do need to be a little bit careful that they don't get bursted before their BKBs can come out.
Vici
It looks
is
like
zipping in. They
Storm-
got vision. Snaking pops BKB. He'll walk away.
They know there's a ward there now.
Element of surprise gone for the side of Vici Gaming.
10 seconds.
Actually, he already de-warded it. Okay. There's no way Vici is going to allow VGJ.Storm to get this Roche without a fight. They have all their ultimates, and one BKB forced. They're going to need to... Oh, they're just going to go right back in on the side of VGJ.
Oh,
they have Night
know
Stalker
that they have to
ultimate.
deal with this, but they need to be careful because they're walking up there on the high ground. They're going to have vision of this in just a second as soon as they try and go on the Storm Spirit, and now they realize he's up there on top of the cliff. They have to know they're up here, but it's so hard to take this fight. The Clockwork Flare, as
jump
well
11.
as Nighttime, they can jump for him right at the start, able to catch him in the cogs. The full combo coming out, land him with the BKBs out. He can't do anything at all. 11 going to drop in Paparazzi, also getting chased down here. Now they need to be careful because the BKB's wearing off now. There can be a counter initiation coming in from the Tidehunter, and this Gyrocopter isolated the Glimmer Cape, keeping him alive yet again with no detection. They can't quite get him, and Vici need to back out now.
Invincibility, or invisibility is invincibility.
Oh, Snaking took out Ken.
That's what I've learned in this last fight. Both teams Glimmer Cave saving the respective heroes. Gyro going down there would have been a huge deal. Has no buyback, but now they can just walk into Roche, I think. They still have Ravage, and they have Song. They actually didn't use anything.
They don't have Disruptor, though, which is not the worst in the world.
They need to wait for BKBs. They can't possibly try to force this Roche until the 20-second cooldown on both BKBs is up. Snaking already has his, but Resolution and Gyro and Yawar definitely need theirs.
And I mean, the team fight that you can see from Vici coming out, if they get that, is ridiculous. Like, the Ravage into a Meteor Hammer afterwards, like, could be really, really rough. Do you open with Song always?
I think you have to, but at the same time, like, the problem is the Naga's the one they're looking to target because they have no way to save him other than Glimmer Capes. They only have one Force Staff on the Razor, and he wasn't quite in position to save the Naga there, and Naga's their main source of counter initiation as well as initiation. So if he gets jumped, that's pretty much worst case scenario for VGJ.Storm.
That's true.
Or
He
for
has
Vici.
absolutely no buyback. He's just he's got a big target on his head.
So the Storm, or the Gyro actually, is going to be going back for a Hex himself.
Nope.
It's quite an interesting pickup. I saw that. He hasn't committed to it yet, but if they Hex the Storm, he will just die because they have the ability to just BKB and commit onto him.
We do have BKBs up back on the side of VGJ.Storm. They're probably going to be thinking about this Roche.
Oh, jump in, mid lane. They found themselves a Night Stalker. He does, or excuse me, Jakiro. He has Yules. Silence there, long duration onto the Storm Spirit. He's saving his BKB for the moment, but now they've also got the stun onto Razor, brought down to about a fifth of his HP. The
What a
stun
nice
coming
hook.
in from MSS, and now they did manage to get the song up with all the BKBs going. 11 is just dying in the duration of it. Fenrir falling as well, and Ori trying to run. He will be able to get out of there, but everybody else dead. This could be the beginning of the end.
And that's not even the one position Gyrocopter. He's 8k net worth behind the Luna, and despite that is able to just kill everybody with Flat Cannon.
Yep.
Turns out having your attacks hit everybody is pretty good.
And he has the Hex. He brought it out.
Wow. I love that because he's just the two-position hero. Why not? Just itemize to counter the ability of VG to actually fight this Luna back. The Storm's the only way they can commit onto this Luna, and that Storm's not going to like be able to play around this Hex. He's able to reactionarily BKB in this game, but he no longer can do that. That completely changes the way that Storm has to play, and I love these type of item purchases. That's actually incredibly next level.
Well, getting the Hex before the Storm himself gets his. And now thinking about, I mean, the other thing too that you can do with that is just Hex the Tide too if you want to in the beginning of the fight. Try and blow him up before he can get Ravage off. Like, there's multiple different ways that you can play this.
Absolutely. The Hex does serve multiple purposes. Not only does it help with team fights, but it also changes their ability to pick people off. They actually lack reach between the Jakiro and the clock. Even though they can initiate, they can't really reliably pick somebody off.
Buyback status now, you can see 300 gold away for the Disruptor, about 700 from the Razor, and a cooldown for the Naga, like you were mentioning, Josh. So now, smoke down towards bottom.
They find a worry. This pretty much spells doom. And Vici, or Jakiro now has a Neon Disc, so that eliminates even more targets for the Storm to actually go on in fights.
Resolution.
VGJ sees this Storm bot lane, and then they don't care. They just that's just another hero out of base. They're just going to start pressuring.
They have
top
Sheep
lane
on
here.
Storm.
They're in their
Immediate go.
pace. They're walking forward. They think about going in now. The hook shot actually misses a little bit awkward there as Paparazzi comes out. Sheep not really doing all that much. Paparazzi dropping low. Resolution is going to get the kill. A triple kill for Yawar, actually. And now 11. He is sitting there inside the song. And I don't think they have any follow-up afterwards, really. They can jump forward, able to find the Ravage, the Meteor Hammer as well. Isn't enough to take them down. They do take down Yawar, and now the Eclipse coming out. They're just ignoring Resolution for the moment, knowing that Aegis is there. But at the end of the day, with
GG.
4 dead, no buyback, GG and VGJ.Storm are going to be in the grand finals.
That'll be fun. I mean, this will certainly be an interesting grand finals. Again, you never want to pit, like, the region versus region thing is weird, but when it comes to the three China teams in these top 4, and then you come to the grand finals where it's, you know, VGJ versus LGD. So
Yeah.
that'll be a whole lot of fun.
Oh, look at them. And
Oh,
it actually broke Dota, so we're having trouble getting the stats up right now, but you can see those guys very happy with themselves. And again, I don't think anybody was really fully prepared for the way that they were going to play this out.
Holy moly. I think everyone on VGJ played incredibly well that game.
Yeah.
But I just want to point out, from my perspective as a carry player, how impressive what appears to me, and when you look back, it is genius, but what appears to me to be just like some random-ass rotation from
Yeah.
Rezo at like 5 minutes in the game. Those lanes were completely static. It was a completely even game. And suddenly this Razor goes from like level 4 at 4 minutes or 5 minutes to level 4 at 7.5 minutes in the game with 2 deaths.
Yeah.
And it's like, that completely took Razor out of the game.
And
That
again,
hero
it's-
wasn't a hero.
It's like you said, you were looking at it. It's like, of course, that the Luna, you know, he could have just sat where he was, farmed away. He would have been
Absolutely.
happier. But making a slight sacrifice, sitting in that off lane where he's not quite as comfortable, was just so much value for his team. It was just the right play.
Mind-boggling that Jakiro was on SVG, played absolutely fantastic in terms of relieving the pressure on the lane that Vici wanted to play around, but he's only able to do that because he had a lane. He was level 6 before his Night Stalker, and that was because of Resolution's rotation. And it's the thing about this is when I watch this team is that not only is it the fact that Rezo makes the right rotations, but the rest of his team knows why he's doing it, and then they capitalize on it, which is even like that's the two things you need to make a team work. And I mean, they just looked better.
They did.
It's impressive, like, and how quickly this team has come together. That's the big thing about it for me is, like, you know, there have been various different iterations of VGJ.Storm throughout.
Oh, we don't really talk about the last one. So
What?
only this new one's the only one.
Yeah, we prefer to just write those off in the history books. You know.
But it's crazy to me because, like, you know, a lot of these players, Resolution coming over obviously from his old team as well, and all of, like, almost like the red-headed stepchildren of like, you know, the NA Dota scene that have always been around, and now they're finally starting to show up and do big things.
Yeah.
And change their play styles too.
Yeah,
that's what's so
true.
impressive about it. It's like they're willing to adapt and make moves. It's so cool.
I remember seeing the tweets come out, you know, VGJ, Rezo, the jack face, there it is. I remember seeing the tweets coming out from this guy and others saying, you know, VGJ, Rezo, and I was, you know, I thought that was pretty cool. I hear he was a free agent, he was working with some other people, blah, 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 and he goes to that team, but I was a little worried. You know, I was thinking, VGJ is good, he's a great player, but, you know, I think they're going to have that awkward phase, you know, it's not going to go straight into it. But they had a honeymoon phase, they started kicking ass right off the bat, and they have rode that all the way. And it seems like that's sort of that's just how it works. These current iterations, like these teams just find their rhythm, they find their stride, and then they just dominate. And these guys have just been showing up time after time.
And I think at this point, people know what VGJ.Storm is going to do. Like they have adapted this patch very well. And what I mean by that is we talked about that the best formula so far is for teams to just say, whatever hero you're playing on our team, you're going to play the same role every game. Your Warren plays like a hard 2, Snaking is a space-creating 3, and SVG just, like, feeds on these lane-clearing heroes. And that's okay. Like, that's absolutely fine. Like, the entire time he died, they, like, gained net worth.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just
exactly.
Who cares? The Resolution's going to have, like, the highest net worth in the game, and it's hilarious to me that you, like, look at this team, and it's just like, what? Like, in terms of, obviously they're good players, but they just look out, they're outclassing these teams. That was just a beatdown.
And there was a point in time where, you know, of course, we saw that Storm. He was getting those picks. He went that Orchid build. He went Kaya into Orchid. And he was trying to, you know, carry this team. He was trying to be active, trying to farm, trying to kill, all this stuff. But again, he had 2 jobs. He had too many jobs.
Yeah.
He just
because of
couldn't.
the Razor being shut down.
Yeah, he couldn't carry his team on his back for that long. It was, you know, he showed up. He made some plays, but it wasn't enough. Rezo was farming the entire time. He was just putting pressure on the rest of the map.
I think at the minor, when people saw VGJ.Storm win it, there was still a lot of question marks. They didn't have to face Secret. They didn't have to play many of the other top teams. Now they've beaten Secret, who is top 3 right now in DPC points. They've beaten Vici, who is, after this tournament, probably going to be number 5 as well. I don't think that there's a question mark. And as far as a time to get hot for a team right before TI qualifiers, that's not a bad time.
Couldn't they have done this like 2 months ago and just directly qualified to TI?
No. That wouldn't be a storyline, man. Come on.
I mean, I'm sure as a complexity member,
It's all about-
you would have been happy about that. You're going to have to deal with them in open qualifiers now.
We got our own story to write, man. I got all the scripts. They're all here, you know.
Let's
got
go
the movies going in.
And hear from the man himself, MSS, see what he had to say about that last game.
那我们可以看到，在这个第一场的比赛中，拿出了谜团这一个非常强力的团战型英雄，是针对 VG 做的这样一个特有的 BP 功课吗
So congratulations first. So first game you pick Enigma. So is this a set strategy for a long time?
Well, Enigma is one of Snake King's best heroes, and at the moment of the draft, we just needed a hero that would like stand his ground in the off lane, and we were also afraid of certain heroes. So we thought that Enigma, like in advance, would block pick some of the heroes we were afraid of. So we just picked it.
所以 Snaking 的谜团确实是他非常拿手的英雄之一了。当然了，我们也很害怕VG 选出一些针对谜团的英雄，所以在我们之前的几办之中，已经是把只能针对谜团的英雄已经办干净了，所以我们才会选出谜团这样的英雄。
好的，我们可以看到现在的 VGJS 已经从这个北美区比较有竞争力的队伍，进化成为了一个现在在北美区应该相当具有统治力的队伍。那你们现在觉得自己可能领先于像 EG 或者是 Optic 这样的队伍， 在哪些地方呢能够取得这么好的成绩？
So currently you are a very strong team, like compared to EG, Optic, like among all those NA teams, right? So compared to like EG and Optic, which part you think you are stronger than them? Like what's your advantage?
I mean, compared to EG and Optic, I think we're just better as a team right now, and I think that's what we have. That's what we have on top of like all these other teams. Like we're just, we have the momentum right now. We just won the minor. We all believe in each other. We all think we're like the best Dota players in the world. And we're just like riding the momentum.
That's great. That's so cool.
所以我觉得我们队
Ego
伍现
pays
在的
off.
整体队伍氛围和队伍配合都会比他们要好一点，因为我们刚刚赢下了一个 minor，整个队伍呢也比较欣欣向荣，大家有一个比较好的队内气氛。我认为更良好的队伍配合和队伍气氛是我们现在可能比较强的原因。
好的，那么明天的话呢，VG 将会跟老干爹打这个败者组的决赛。在你们看来的话呢，VG 跟这边的老干爹，可能谁会更有几率杀上来，与你们在总决赛相遇？
So tomorrow, LGD and PSD LGD and VG gonna play the loser bracket final. So like, which team you probably gonna play against with for your next game? You think?
It's hard to say. Like at first, I thought we would meet Vici Gaming again, but with the way LGD is like riding through the lower bracket, they're learning a lot. Like obviously, because they're just winning all their games, but I would still say Vici Gaming is the better team. So I mean, hopefully we meet Vici Gaming again, so we can get our revenge a second time.
OK. 所以我觉得我们本以为应该是 VG 会赢，但是我们在看了今天老干爹的表现以后，我现在我可能会认为老干爹稍强一些，但是我更希望是 VG 能够重新和我们打到决赛，这样能够完成他们的复仇吧，给他们一个机会。
好了，那么也是感谢你接受我们的采访，同时再次恭喜 VGJS 取得了这场比赛的胜利，现在是已经杀入到了我们本次比赛的总决赛，期待你们在总决赛当中的一个良好的发挥。那么也是让我们在明天的中午不见不散。
Good MSS, getting some claps there in China.
That's true.
Yeah.
You can hear him. He's got his head. He's riding pretty high. He's got a high horse. It's like Clydesdale at least. Maybe 1.5 a Clydesdale. He's feeling himself. But I'd say it's well deserved.
Totally.
He's doing all right.
I just want to. I love the brutal honesty of him in the interview. Just like we're just a better team, and a lot of Dota is being confident in your own decision making and just saying what we believe is the right way to play the game is working, and they just are doing their own thing, and they're just still stopping people.
I think also what he meant there was like that. The massive strength of their team is that they really believe in each other.
Yeah.
Like it's that they all think that they're awesome. Thank you for adjusting. Wait, is there a nickname for Jack?
KBBQ?
No, but like I mean like there's like the Prince for FY. Like do we have one for Jack? We gotta come up with one.
There's gotta be.
Nap Master.
Is there a term for 5K
Sleepy.
solo MMR 1K party?
I love Jack.
The
Jack's a great guy.
bane of my pubs.
There you go.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's just going to about do it for us for this penultimate day of the MDL Major. We've still got one more left ahead of us, and as the wonderful folks out there in Changsha were mentioning, it is going to be LGD versus Vici. They said what they thought they were going to think about it, but any final words from you two about what we saw today, who you feel like might be coming out on top of that first series?
I mean, from today's performances, obviously, these past two series, LGD seemed to be playing pretty good. Game 1 of their series, they played really well. Game 2 was a little weird. They played well, made some, mistakes, brought it back, ended up getting that Game 2. They looked pretty hot. VGJ looked just dominant here.
Yeah.
And so I'd say, I don't really know. Vici Gaming is historically a great team. They've been performing well event after event previously, but, right now, after this past series, it's I'm not too sure. I'd say probably LGD, but...
NA Dota.
That's
my comment.
That's it?
I asked you about two Chinese teams.
Oh, sorry. Not a bias cast. I believe that, honestly, LGD, despite starting the lower bracket from, the very first round, I feel like they've done the opposite of what VG just did, where LGD has been looking better and better as this tournament's been going on, and Vici I know VGJ played really well, and that's why these games look so convincing, because one team played well, but the other team also, like VG Gaming, they did not look clean. There are a lot of, random, uncharacteristic mistakes, and I think that affects you. It really does. And so, I'm thinking it's LGD against VGJ, and let's be honest, NA Dota, unstoppable, unbeatable, undeniable. Where's one of your big words that you said you're going to whip out for this cast? Any of them apply here?
I mean, here, let me see. I don't even remember what it was, to be honest. I'm way too tired. It's 6 a.m. Let's see. Honestly, I think VGJ is going to enter this with extraordinary grandeur. You know, they're going to come in Clydesdales with golden armor, you know, feeling good, specifically MSS, you know. That grandeur was one of them, you know.
I was
looking. It was a little bit of a stretch there. Let's see.
I was hyped.
They're going to take him to the doctor's office. Malpractice. I don't know how to use that one, to be honest. I can't like. Yeah, that's what I was given.
Like
malpractice is real difficult to get in there, you know.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here. We will be back tomorrow for the conclusion of the MDL Changsha Major. Stick around for probably the rerun. If you missed the earlier games, there was some hype stuff in there. But for now, at least, we will see you tomorrow. Adios.
Setting the bar low.